of the First World War.
It's correct that the European crisis is the main topic of discussion at the moment. But we believe that the fiat paper system is a key problem of this crisis. Western governments, faced with recession, have taken the easy option, which is to print more money. Just as an example, a recent report out this past week has highlighted that the US has either paid or committed close to $29 trillion in terms of various bailouts since 2008. That is clearly unsustainable when the US economy is $13 trillion. And we've seen in the last 8 years growth in paper money of something of the order of 11 or 12% per annum. And that's in a time in which global growth has been not more than 4%. So we're seeing a dramatic increase in the amount of money in circulation in the world. This can only end in tears. We have seen previously that paper money, fiat systems, have a life cycle of nothing more than 40 years. We're now 40 years since 1971, when Nixon took the world unilaterally off of a form of gold standard, which was the Bretton Woods system. Now, it's correct that the last formal gold standard was around about the time of the World War I, or just after that, and we talk about this in this paper. But the issue is this. If we look back over millennia, we can see that people have always needed a stable medium of exchange. This is what money is. It is a store of value. It is not just something that can be used for their day-to-day transactions. And this is our problem with fiat paper today, is that when governments are in control of the flow of that money, inevitably, under stress, under difficult circumstances, they choose the option to print. That causes high inflation, and we are suffering from that inflation. And the mere fact that gold has been rising in price compared to the US dollar and in fact all other currencies over the last 10, 11 years is an indication of the problem. It's not an indication that gold is getting better in value. It is an indication that paper money is deteriorating rapidly, and we can only see that this deterioration is going to heighten, is going to get worse in the coming weeks and months.
Why is the gold-silver standard important in the Muslim world? And what should Muslims be doing in this current crisis?
Rather strangely, the Muslim world, which has been in a rather depressed state for the last 80 years or so, now has a tremendous opportunity to show some leadership, to show some intellectual and economic leadership in the world. In this particular crisis, it's only Islam which actually mandates, and we talk about this in this paper, it's only Islam that mandates a gold-silver standard and ensures that that is 100% backed, meaning that there can be no paper money which is not 100% backed by gold and silver. This provides a tremendous monetary and currency stability, and this is indeed what the world is looking for. So it's actually an opportunity for Muslims to come forward and say, you know, wait a second here. Under the Islamic rules, economic rules, we have solutions, and this is one of the key solutions for this crisis that we're facing. Now, it may well be that these Western governments, faced with the crisis which is looming, not only in Europe but in the US and Japan and elsewhere, this debt crisis, this ballooning debt which we are seeing, the creation of money from nothing, that eventually they're going to have to take a step back towards the gold standard. So there are some Western commentators talking about it now. But it is a great shame that it is Muslims which are actually sitting on the solution, which should be there and should be applicable in our countries. It's not enough that we can see an Arab revolution in the Muslim world, an Arab Spring as people refer to it as, without us putting forward tangible Islamic solutions. So why are the Muslims being backward in terms of sitting here holding back with these particular solutions? So this report just goes some way to actually present how Islam deals with the issue, how Islam has solutions for this most vital matter, and how we should be moving forward. So In